What is up, Star Wars fans? This is Darth Watson. In this video, we are going to be talking about some of the insane leaks that we've received over the past week that everybody's been talking about for the upcoming Star Wars movie, Star Wars Starfighter, which is coming out next year. And it gives me more reason why this film might do better than The Mandalorian and Grogu, and it might do better box office wise. So I think with this film, it's going to make at least $700 or $800 million in the box office, which is better than what The Mandalorian and Grogu did. And I hear fans all the time say that they're more excited for this movie than they were for The Mandalorian and Grogu. So there's a good chance this film might do better than The Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, we do know that The Mandalorian and Grogu didn't do too well, and it was the second movie to bomb since Solo: A Star Wars Story did. But either way, they both made their money back, so they're not complete flops. They're just failures, and they're not a success at all. Because in order for The Mandalorian and Grogu to be a success, it would have had to reach 500 or 600 million. But anyways, Star Wars Starfighter had some insane leaks. And what really intrigued me the most is that Ryan Gosling's character is going to be portraying a character named Cade. And for those of you guys who follow the Star Wars lore, particularly in the EU, we have Cade Skywalker, which was the great-grandson of Luke Skywalker, who lived a century over the events of Return of the Jedi, like a century after the events of Return of the Jedi. Cade Skywalker has lived over a century after. So about 130 years after Return of the Jedi, the Dark Horse Legacy comics exists. The Dark Horse Legacy comics, which features Cade Skywalker, and ends up being the last descendant of the Skywalker family. He is the great-grandson of Luke Skywalker, and this character idea is being pulled from Star Wars Legends, and Lucasfilm could very well pull the Cade Skywalker idea from Star Wars Legends, but if they're going to pull Cade Skywalker idea from Star Wars Legends, does that mean that Ryan Gosling is going to be portraying Cade Skywalker? And I would have to say no. Now, I see a lot of people running around saying, oh, they're bringing back Cade Skywalker. They're taking Cade Skywalker from the EU and making him, instead of Luke's great-grandson, making him Luke Skywalker's son. Now, this may sound all good and nice and a way to win back the Star Wars, like a way to win for the Star Wars fandom. I don't want to say win back, but like a way to win for the Star Wars fandom, like a huge win for the Star Wars fandom. But if we're going to be realistic, I don't think it's going to be Cade Skywalker for various reasons. Number one, I mean, the Ryan Gosling character, like the Ryan Gosling character, Cade, looks like he's like he looks like he's almost 40, plus this character, Flynn Gray, who is portraying the son of Cade. So it doesn't really look like that. It doesn't really look like that he's going to be Cade Skywalker. The way I'm looking at it, he looks like he's well over 30, almost 40, and Star Wars Starfighter, according to the current canon, it takes place only 5 years after the rise of Skywalker, which puts the film 36 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. And not saying that there isn't any room to tell a story where Luke Skywalker does get married, and maybe Lucasfilm might consider that someday. Luke Skywalker does have a wife. He does get married, but as of right now, it doesn't look like it's happening in the current canon. Luke Skywalker remains single. He tries to grow a new generation of Jedi. So Ryan Gosling's character Cade. It could be taking up inspiration from the Cade Skywalker we see in the Star Wars expanded universe, but the last name is not going to be Skywalker. So I don't think it's going to be Cade Skywalker. I know a lot of people are running around saying this. I don't think Cade is going to have the last name Skywalker. Just only his character is going to be taking up inspiration from the Cade Skywalker from the Star Wars expanded universe. So it'll be a Cade Skywalker like type character, just not Cade Skywalker. And that's the way I'm seeing it. And another reason to believe that it's not Cade Skywalker, because we already see the last Skywalker in The Rise of Skywalker with Ben Solo, and it's been confirmed that in The Rise of Skywalker that Ben Solo is the last Skywalker by blood, and he died, and that's how the Skywalker saga ended, and he died after redeeming himself and helping Rey defeat the Emperor, like going to Exegol to help Rey defeat the Emperor. So Ben Solo is the last Skywalker by blood, and he dies at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, and that puts the end to the Skywalker saga. And according to canon, Luke Skywalker doesn't get married, so this doesn't sound very this doesn't sound very likely unless Lucasfilm considers a story where Luke Skywalker does get married. But then again, the character looks like he's almost 40, plus he has a kid, so it doesn't sound too likely that this is Cade Skywalker. Now, it could be taking up inspiration from the Cade Skywalker character from Star Wars Legends, but Cade is not going to have the last name Skywalker in Star Wars Starfighter. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Do make sure to smash a like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you all later in another video.